Where everything changed in terms of also us thinking that, you know, Apex could come back and win this. And big props to Penny, of course, using that neon so well and utilizing those stuns to help those site executes. Of course, it was a team effort, but I do think Penny is a massive standout here. And it was the Penny that we expected to see today, right? He really popped off.
Yeah, Meg and I wrote a jingle for him. Maybe we'll bring it out. If they win, we'll bring it out.
Okay.
We can't bring it out after one match.
Not yet.
We got to bring it out when they won the actual match. Yeah. And we have to address the Batu knife. Kiko got sat down, I feel like. I mean, I want to see that clip on socials. I want to see that clip on TikTok. I want to see that clip forever ingrained in the Hall of Fame in VCT EMEA history, because Billy, you just don't see this very often.
It was iconic. Like, the way he was able to use his ult, jump towards Kiko, fired one shot out of his shorty, and then knifes him in the face. I mean, yeah, Batu's turnaround from map 1 to map 2 was night and day for me. I think that was something I had highlighted before we went into this map as well, is that I need to see a turnaround from him and to stop giving away those first picks. But it's actually him utilizing.
Oh, they got it in!
I'm begging for somebody to put that into like an MLG style compilation. Please, like the ones back in 2013. Like, it's too good.
I already know the song in my head exactly what you mean. Yeah. I mean, I think after that, you know, the confidence sky high, you snowball that. I mean, I don't think we even need to talk about the stats here. I think the performance, he just needed to warm up, you know, into it. But my question is, as we head to the next map, Meg, do we just double down, triple down, quadruple down on the double duelist? Is this somewhere that you think has legs as we move on to Lotus?
It's working, and I guess going into a map like Lotus, they are starting on that attack side, so I do think it could really benefit them. Of course, looking at Corrode, they definitely played the long game with picking into that double duelist, but starting on defense. But I feel like off the back of this win, to build that momentum, I think making a statement and coming into the attack side of duelist with the of Lotus with the double duelist is definitely a play.
We'll definitely see Team Liquid on the double duelist, that's for sure. It is just the question of, are we going to see Apex continue to play into this, or are they going to opt for what they usually do play on the Lotus, which is, of course, that double senti that we were expecting to see them play on Ascent. I would like to see a little bit of creativity. I would like to see them just throw them all themselves fully into the rest of this match and hopefully have a surprise up their sleeve.
The last time we did see Apex play Lotus, it was against Carmine Corp. They unfortunately lost, but we did see Batu on that deadlock. It's like, here you could play him almost as that aggressive sentinel that we know he's so good at. So is it actually less beneficial to pull him off a role like deadlock in a 3-map site map?
Yeah,
I don't know.
We will see the agent select now, and all of our questions will be answered here. And it looks like they're not going to carry this on. It's okay. We had 2 maps. We had the maximum amount of rounds over 2 maps for it as well. But yeah, this is where I give Batu a lot of praise. I love his deadlock. I love how reactive it is. I'm very, actually not that mad about this.
Yeah, I think to be fair to them, like they did, although they lost it against KC, they did manage to bring it very close. It did end 11-13 after all. I think for Team Liquid as well, this was a map that they kind of at the very start of the year were struggling to find an identity on, right? We saw them pull out Arena in a raise with, of course, a different roster at the very start of the year. But more recently, they have been moving towards this Vise, towards this double duelist on Lotus, which I think has looked nice for them. I want to see how Apex approach this though, considering that they will have their own double sentinel on their side.
I think a big focus for Apex here is going to be using up as much Team Liquid utility as they can before they potentially get into those post-plant situations. I do think as well Liquid are going to be looking at that kind of traditional style Lotus play of breaking as much Sentinel utility to deny them of that information as they can. So I do think we're maybe going to see a bit of a slower play here from Liquid.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just laughing because other players hover for like bans, memes, you know, whatever.
Not Nats.
Ayaz, I know him like that. Nats is hovering because he wants to buy time. Just yap. Because you know what he's like? He's going to be very unhappy at the fact that they were 11-7 up and didn't take this 2-0. And there's only one thing scarier than Team Liquid, which is when they are backed into a corner and Nats is shouting at you.
I would not want Nats to shout at me.
What would you rather, Nats shouting at you or Danito calling you a noob?
I would rather Danito calling me a noob. I'm used to it anyway, you know, in my ranked games, so I don't mind. That.
I think I'd rather Danito call me a noob. All right, I'm not going to lie.
But would you rather shout at Nats or call Danito a noob to his face?
I'd call Danito a noob to his face.
Really? I don't want to mess with Nats. No,
he's not that scary to me. Yeah.
No, he has 2 sides. He has like a good cop, bad cop. I do think he looks like a cuddly teddy bear, but I also think that that man could say the worst things to you that completely break you down.
Or Danito? Nat is not going to say anything to you, Meg. Come on.
Not to me, but if I was on his team, you know. Obviously, he's never going to say anything.
I think we should experiment and see who out of us could get the biggest reaction out of them. I think Danito would just laugh if you walked up and was like, you're a noob.
We should play a game of rage baiting as many players as we can to see how they react.
I am a known rage baiter. I think I have a pretty good CV, I think, in terms of people I've successfully rage baited.
I think you could scroll through Reddit, VLR, whatever, and it's like, why is Sue rage baiting people in their Twitch chat again?
Yeah,
it's
literally.
constant.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at that. So what made that happen? But I mean, look at Naz. He's still yapping away. He's still talking. Would love to know what he's saying right now. But from the snippets in the past that we have seen, it is very. He kind of goes teammate by teammate, right? He'll say, there's actually a really funny meme where he basically said something to every teammate, and then when it went to Kiko, he was like, keep doing what you're doing. You just be you.
I like that he gives them all their moment, you know. That's a good IGL, right? Focusing on every
because he was like, you're a noob, you're a noob, you're a noob, Kiko, you're perfect.
But if Kiko was doing well, what can you say?
I can't even remember if he was doing. I mean, he must have been. It's Cass.
I don't blame him for taking it this seriously, though, right? Because you have to remember what's on the line for them today, right? Wanting to be that first team to get through to playoffs. I said it at the start of the day. If Apex were to stop Team Liquid from being that first team to make it to playoffs, it just feels like not something that we would have said.
I've also just remembered that if Team Liquid lose, obviously that's better for Fnatic.
Yeah, so whose side are you on?
Fnatic.
I mean, it would be kind of, you know, poetic in some ways, I guess, the little circle of permutation that we do have. But also the last time these two played against each other, I believe it also went to map 3. Kiko literally had the performance of his life, you know, carrying Liquid back then. Probably not wanting to lose against his former team as well. A little bit of that element. And the stakes for Apex is very, very high too. If they lose here, they have to make the finals of stage 2 if they want to go to champs. They literally physically cannot make it on champs points. So Liquid can still make playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, they could do it next week as well. So
I have an idea as to maybe why they're taking this, you know, the long way. They're going for the 3-map series, and I think because maybe we spoke a little bit earlier about their performance last year and how it wasn't maybe the greatest for Team Liquid fans. This year, they're potentially going to make their 3rd international event of the year. So they just want to give the Team Liquid fans who have come out to the arena today a good showing.
We are currently experiencing a very, very short delay. I heard Pansy try to get in the studio for some reason. Don't worry, we're not letting her in. It's fine. She's stuck outside. We're just going to remake the lobby and jump into the map in a moment. So for now, enjoy the podcast that we have here. So Meg, you've chosen your alliance. Billy, how are you feeling? Do you have a
You're
team
asking the tier 2 defender.
What Hazard and Cairo said.
favorite?
Hazard and Cairo said you've changed, you know. Now you're in tier 1. You've left the...
I think their fans have
behind.
probably said that about them more than they've said that about me, to be honest with you. I mean, when have you seen them on a Challengers North broadcast since
You tell them. You tell them, Billy.
All jokes aside, of course I got to back up Apex here. It would be rude of me to not do that. We followed their journey last year at Ascension. I've wanted to see them do something in VCT EMEA. And this for me, this would be a phenomenal upset.
Yeah, and if you guys remember last year, Liquid had like a 1% chance to make playoffs. It was the miracle journey. Was it last year? Maybe it was the year before. One of the years, it's all mushing into my brain. And they did it. There was literally one scenario for them to make playoffs, and they ended up achieving it. So they know how it feels, you know, being in a situation where everything seems very impossible. But I just think that the reason I'm personally leaning towards Apex is that I'm really enjoying the Valorant they're playing today.
Yeah.
I'm really, really enjoying it.
I was just going to say, slowly in the chat, I feel like as well, people are starting to believe it was 90% towards
Get
Team
your
Liquid.
pecs out for Apex.
Get your pecs out for Apex.
Come on, guys, believe in the underdog.
No, I
never
have
know.
to agree with you though, Sue. I think like watching Ascent in particular as well, it looked so nice
Trex
from
is
Malsey.
so me, sorry.
like Malsey's calling on the attack on Ascent. We've been talking about how, you know, teams have been struggling on the attack side and being able to call them more recently, but it just felt as though he always had not only the right reads, but also the right reactions. So I'm looking to see if that travels through into this 3rd map as well.
Well, we are back into the lobby, so it's time to jump into game, and I would love to know the win rate of Hazard and Cairo's cast when they have been casting Apex. Over to you.
Well, Sue, this would be the 19th time that either of us have casted an Apex match. And Cairo, I believe, what, you've only casted one loss? I've casted a couple back in 2023, so yeah, it's looking pretty good. And I have to say, looking at both IGLs on the stage there, Nat saying his piece, unimpressed with what he's seen on their road to champs. And Molsey up against the stoic leader on the other side, knowing the task that is at hand to keep their chances of survival afloat. The attack side begins with a knife searing through the center of the map. 2 players revealed on B from the Liquid side. 2 still hanging around sand.
फेड देख रहा है किधर फेंकू बोला किधर ना है किधर फेंकू किधर ना है फेड भी वेट कर रहा है.
This is what has all been the good look for them on Ascent, remember? When they got to default, when they got to look, and that's big information from Camo as his TP was about to expire.
It's like Peter Parker getting a good photo of Spider-Man swinging through the air, snaps 3 players they know. Nesh goes up though, and it's a B split, a very well coordinated one from Apex.
Yeah, and Liquid have allowed this to happen, that nade just denying Trix any space, and he's been brought very low, and Apex get brought into post.
So a health pool advantage, and 1 for space if you're Apex right now. Hobbit control is what they've got, the cam towards grass as well, both of the Sentinel bits of util. The one gap that they have to account for is towards Waterfall and May.
Team Liquid have done well to hold on to that. Batu stuck between no man's land. Ollie Zero waiting to activate. I mean, that's just holding on to it. He's allowed for a chance. That chance is fleeting. That's down 5 pistol rounds in a row for Team Liquid.
And Liquid really maximizing those advantages as much as possible. It's something that we've got to talk about, especially now that we've hit crunch time and reached Lotus. This is the acrobatic Camo, who did really well to pressure the extremity as you expected from Yoru. This was the last map in their opening series against Koi, and for Apex, the other week against KC. Going opposite ways.
Nice patience, boys. Nice retail. Nice planning. Finally.
And, as much as I said before that anyone on Liquid can come up with something, the plan has worked.
Team Liquid, all their forces on the other side of the map from Apex at the moment.
While Penny gets an orb here, Trex also went and picked up the A orb, so he's already within 3 of the Nightfall. When you head into that bonus round then for Liquid, they want to try and keep it as clean as possible.
Well activated, and so is all the utility that was on the C side.
This is the one opportunity that Apex are going to get to do any kind of free damage through the nade and the net. In fact, it's been enough to fully flush Liquid off-site. A plant now is the best case.
Yeah, exactly, they'll be happy with this. Liquid look to cut through any remaining players. And it seems if this is looking to be a flawless round at the moment.
Oh, Molsey is going to get his one though. You can't ever speak too soon. Liquid still securing the objective, and if the defuse from Trex means that the Nightfall will be available heading into that next round.
That's it. Hey, listen, now you set up your plans, and as Nats was saying earlier, the plans look to be finally coming to fruition.
One enemy would remain.
And for Liquid on this defender side, I'm always going to be looking towards the A site and the rubble control, which they very often opt to set up. This is an incredibly late call in terms of what they do end up opting for though, as Nats will play a lot deeper on this right-hand side.
Challenge on C-Mound. Yeah. 3 players strong, and there's also Kiko on the door if they want to go for it. Not Kiko, sorry, it's Pathetic.
Great paranoia to set up the horn, but just can't bend the bullets around the corner, can Pathetic. Apex now heading towards A, but this is the reaction that Liquid want. It's straight into their Sentinel.
Yeah, straight into the setup, all is there is ahead. Well, Nats actually gets caught by the paranoia, but nobody through tree. Still a little bit of delay, and not checking for Nats. The smoke actually had a gap in it, and Team Liquid are able to capitalise to the max.
Spike already on B though. Apex can take this one step further and reach the C site if they want. Avova is late to leave A, and that looks like what it's going to be. A waterfall walk, but Kiko can maybe catch Molsey. It's just damage for now. But so much pressure put on Apex needlessly.
Spike can go down. Planted for main, that's where Avova is. Doesn't matter that he's late. And Team Liquid taking their time again, looking to create a plan and be patient.
That's what Nats was talking about. And here, Trex has the Horn, last Prowler used towards Waterfall. Huge 1 versus 1 in Sand. If Malsi can ease up the containment of them here, it's everything.
He's only within 1 bullet. Range now is a 2 versus 4, which the last two need to try and clutch up from, and Batu's already been revealed, so instead Avova now needs to try his best, but his best won't be enough. A bonus conversion, another great Team Liquid start.
Another great, very well worked round from them as well. The little set piece, Sand, to put Nats in a position of power on site. Well, Azera doesn't get the most from his excursion, and then into the later stages of the round, Malsi is there solo, not knowing which way to look. Apex fighting a war on both fronts, and it just all falls apart. You can only credit Liquid though, they did everything right.
Let's go!
There.
Another A play once again by Liquid.
They don't have a chance.
Changing it up, where that aggression is with this double duelist.
That's it. Batu though does have that deadlock ult if needed. Still, Liquid can Liquid Apex can provide a bit of resistance to Liquid in this round.
They've taken the early control, and ever since Liquid added the fades to their composition, I mean hell, ever since we've seen them start to pick it up in stage 1, Lotus has looked so much better for them. They've lost every single one of their Masters games on it so far though, 3 out of 3. Even despite the almost comeback from 11-1 down against Paper X. So here again, it's the same conversation, building confidence, heading towards champs, which looks to be edging ever closer, as are Apex on the unguarded C site.
Yeah, Azera under pressure, trying to make sure to watch B main in case anybody was going to go for the door, but instead he will be completely cleared out, and that's on an angle, an aggressive one, caught off guard, and Trex at least able to trade that out, and with support to help him out. This is looking like Liquid with another round to convert, and they are absolutely whitewashing Apex at the moment.
Mowing through them in these retake situations. And that is frustrating for Apex, especially more so compounded by the fact that Batu was still alive with all of the deadlock utility. And that's the strength of this composition. Making your post plants easier by just adding that extra layer of utility. They've been running the deadlock back with the old lineup sort of since last year. Lotus has always been a really great map for them. They won it in the grand final against Pacific, of course, and here comes the timeout.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that like how successful Apex is